So I would like to address the hair. It is new. I got tired of people assuming that I was a straight dude. And this felt like the least subtle way I could do that. Look, if it takes looking like a watermelon for people to realize that I'm fruity, then so be it. Alright, yes, I am, like Jane said, I am from Portland. How do y'all feel about Portland, Salem? How do you feel? It's fine, alright, that honest answer. Honest answer, I appreciate that. Like, if I asked you that in real life, I'm like, how's Portland? Woo! I would send you somewhere. I don't know where. That's just not a normal way to answer a question. I appreciate you. Thank you. Now, I have heard that people from outside of Portland don't really like us because they think we're mean and cutthroat, which is ridiculous. Because I don't think anything in the Pacific Northwest should be considered cutthroat, right? Like, we're all too chill here. Nothing is cutthroat. Well, except for the serial killers, but that's different. Like, they have a much more literal definition of cutthroat than we do. And if there are any serial killers in the audience tonight, I want you to know that I am not making fun of you, okay? This is a pro-serial killer set. Because honestly, I don't blame you guys. I get it. Like, it's not your fault that the people here are just super murderable. Think about it, okay? We're always out in the woods with no weapons whatsoever. And if somebody from Portland's getting attacked, they're not gonna fight back. They're just gonna complain about it. Like, oh, you're stabbing me? Real mature there, buddy. Let me guess. You're a Gemini? Thought so. Well, bet you didn't see this one coming. Bam! Healing crystals! Yeah, that's right, your stab wounds are gonna be rendered completely ineffective. Oh, why don't I call the cops? Good question. One, I'm not gonna call those fascists to come in and save me like I'm some sort of damsel in distress. And two, making phone calls gives me social anxiety, so I'm not gonna do that. It's scary, okay? Like, I know I'm getting stabbed, but that's just scary. So I bet you guys might have been wondering, like, what kind of fruity I was when I was talking at the beginning of this set. And to make it short, I am asexual, which, if you don't know what that means, I'd recommend learning what a prefix is. You don't even need to learn that many. It's A. It's literally the first one. But no, okay, in all seriousness, asexual just means not sexual. So, like, I just don't feel sexual attraction or desire or anything like that. Or to put that into terms that I think everybody here can understand, I literally do not give a fuck. Now, when I tell people about being asexual, a lot of people assume it's because I was raised Catholic or like I have some sort of trauma, and no, it's nothing like that. It's a little more complicated. I like to think about sex the same way I think about In-N-Out Burger. Because when I was growing up, there was no In-N-Out Burgers nearby. Like, it was an event to get In-N-Out Burger. And everybody that had gotten In-N-Out Burger was just hyping it up so much. They're like, this is life-changing. I am going to make all of my decisions based off of how I can get more In-N-Out Burger in my life. And so I bought into the hype. But, you know, it took a long time for somebody to offer me some In-N-Out Burger. That should be no surprise to anyone in here. And one day, somebody finally offered me some. So, you know, I tried it. I got through the burger. I ate most of the fries. And I finish it, and I just think to myself, this is it? This is what you've been hyping up this whole time. This. I mean, it's fine, but I don't know why we had to interrupt Mario Kart for this. Like, I'd much rather be doing that, to be honest. Now, I shouldn't have said that last part in front of the chef. That was a mistake. You know how sometimes when you're eating at a restaurant, when you're eating a burger, sometimes you'll say the name of the wrong restaurant? I do that, except I tell the chef I'm not having a good time. They'll both wreck self-esteem, but for very different reasons. Now, when I told my friends about this predicament, about not liking In-N-Out Burger, they're like, okay. But have you tried it animal style? And you know what? I did try it animal style. I'm a fucking scientist. I'm gonna work out all the possible hypotheses until I figure this shit out. And you know what happened? Not a goddamn thing. I went to see if I had a taste bud deficiency. I did. I got that fixed. Still nothing. Still would rather be playing Mario Kart. And you know what? After all of this experimentation, at some point, you just got to admit to yourself that you're not a fan of having In-N-Out Burger. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. Right? Because contrary to popular belief, liking In-N-Out Burger is not what makes us human. It's chins. Look it up. We are the only species with a pronounced chin, and nobody knows why. Nobody. Like, it's the only uniquely human thing we have. Like, dolphins can do language, ants can go to war, but none of those motherfuckers have chins. That's our thing. We did it, America. That doesn't make any sense in this context. But it felt right, and that's why I said it. Okay, getting back to the whole In-N-Out Burger analogy. Even though I didn't really enjoy all of this experimentation, I'm still glad I did it. Because I learned a lot of things about myself, you know? Like, for example, I learned if I'm gonna have a burger, I'd rather just make it myself. You know, it's simpler, it's cheaper, I don't need to get another person involved. And it's not even for the taste, really, it's just sometimes you need something to do. And plus, if you make your own burger 2 to 3 times per week, that can help with prostate health, so that's pretty nice. May have lost track of the metaphor here at some points. But I was getting to the end of the joke, so I think we're fine. Water time. I got ice in my mouth. I didn't want you guys to hear me chewing. But I spit it back in. I apologize. Should have gotten no ice. These are the things you learn in comedy. No ice. Unless you want to incorporate chewing into your act, which I don't know why you would. That would be a weird thing to do. Anyway. The whole In-N-Out Burger thing, like the first time I told that joke, the next comedian on stage went up and went, "Man, I wish I could be asexual. That would solve all of my problems. Like, it would be so nice to be able to have all of my thoughts all of the time." And you know what? That's fair. That's fair. That's completely fair. Like, I do have all of my thoughts all of the time. But on the other hand, I have all of my thoughts all the time. Do you guys have any idea how fucking annoying I am? Like, if you think I'm a bit much now, understand, you are getting the scripted, edited, filtered version of me, Cody Webb, and you're only getting one thought at a time. I do not have that luxury. Like, do you know how desperately I would love to just be able to turn my brain off and think about fucking? That would be great, but it's not gonna happen. Unless I suddenly start getting dick brain, it's not gonna happen. All right, yeah, no, I know I'm loud. I'm sorry. It's not a thing I really have a lot of control over. Like, I'm working on it, but I know that that's a thing I struggle with. But I have heard some people say that I'm too loud, and I want you to know that is not true at all, okay? I am not being too loud. I am being deaf accessible. All right, I am deaf people's favorite comedian by default, but that's okay. You gotta take your wins while you can. All right, let's see. I only have one functioning testicle. There's no way to segue into that, so I'm just gonna say it. I only have one functioning testicle. Like, they're both there, it's just only one of them works. Like, the right one is what you'd expect, but the left one is really small and way up in there. Now, this hasn't been a problem in my everyday life. This hasn't even been a problem in my sexual life. But none of you have had to tell multiple female doctors the phrase, yes, I have a left testicle, you're just not looking hard enough. Multiple female doctors. You know how the stereotype is, oh, men can't find the clitoris. Women cannot find my left testicle. Even with medical training. Like, so who's got it worse now, huh? Women have it worse. That was a stupid comparison. I don't need my left nut to come. That was not a good comparison. Now, the reason I'm like this, the reason I'm in this scrotal situation, is because when I was a baby, like, my left nut just didn't drop. It just stayed where it was. And so they had to surgically put it into place. But I think they fucked up at some point during that surgery, because when I hit puberty, right one dropped and got bigger, left one, exactly the same. It is exactly the same as when I was a baby. Now, I did not tell this joke for a very long time. Because, you know, it's embarrassing for me. I'm sure it's weird as hell for you all to hear about. And also saying the phrase, I have a child's testicle inside of me. It's a very easy way to get arrested, so I'm not gonna do that. Also, I don't think I would do well in jail. Especially with the nickname Cody One Ball. In fact, I know I wouldn't do well, because when I was doing this joke back in Eugene, other comedians would come up to me and ask to see or feel my balls. That is a true thing that happens. And I don't think that situation's gonna be any better when I'm surrounded by actual sex offenders. Well, actual convicted sex offenders. We are in comedy, after all. I'm sorry, that's just what the industry is like. It's not me, but a lot of other people. All right, I don't know what ended on that. That's a weird... I'm like, okay, yeah, let's remind people that... Let's have everyone's last thought be reminding people that sex offenders are in comedy and are a bad thing. Don't know why, but I'm gone. So thank you very much. I've been Cody Webb.